more importantly, you say you recently discovered that I am from New Jersey, but we had this conversation no less than 5 years ago.
You see, I recall this conversation
Whoa,
after
that's
the
another
fact.
5.
Another
So-
5, yes.
I recall this conversation before when you brought it up to me again, but for some reason it didn't dawn upon me. So I just kind of had mush brain and just said, "Golly, I don't know what's going on here. My brain doesn't work properly anymore."
golly, oh golly gosh, gee.
Well, I'm 27 years old and I
Yep.
speak like an old-timey prospector.
You wanna-
Golly!
do you want to resort to fisticuffs later?
Yes, sir. Fisticuffs, and then we'll have to go out for some brandy later on, my friend.
Dunk says you're a bad friend
Why am I a bad friend?
because he knew that I was from New Jersey.
Oh, so we're gonna get into this now? This is
I mean-
like Maury, where
This is what we're happening. I also my friend Jers, oddly enough, you'll never guess it. He's from Jersey.
you mean legendary Jers?
Not legendary Jers. Jers,
Not legendary Jers.
a
Okay.
streamer Jers that you might not know.
Streamer
You probably
Jers,
don't know,
okay.
but Jers is good people.
I'm assuming Jers means Jersey. I'm assuming it doesn't mean like baseball jersey.
Yes, correct.
I mean,
and
I guess it means New Jersey.
also Pixie is from Jers.
Ah.
So
a
like
lot
you
of
have
people
a
from the
quite
Garden
a,
State.
you have quite a collective of people that are from the Garden State of the state that you forgot that I'm from.
You're just gonna keep nailing that point in there, Penguin, aren't you?
It hurts on the inside sometimes. I'll tell you what. It hurts a
Okay,
little bit.
it wasn't on purpose. Okay, let's get that straight. It wasn't on purpose. It was completely accidental. I kind of had a feeling, but then again, I run into so many different people who are from New Jersey that it just kind of, go in one ear and out the other. So I'm sorry, and I'm making this my public apology. Would you like it in writing and notarized?
Oh, if you could get it, well, getting it notarized would require you to have to do like not social distancing. So I can't necessarily condone that right now. I actually believe that the coronavirus kills people, unlike some stupid orange people. So yeah, I have to say, don't do that because I want you alive and not sick.
Well, I'm assuming notary, you can walk in and have a mask on. I would hope. I mean, getting your things notarized is pretty important.
It is important, you're right, but at this current status of where we are, who knows what kind of notary you're going to run to? One that has a brain or one that licks rocks? I don't really know.
This is true. I understand that completely.
It's
and I will
frustrating.
take you at your word. No, it is frustrating indeed. I mean, it's frustrating for everyone, but I just hope that if I go to my notary, he doesn't start licking the wall.
We can't be certain of anything at this point.
No, we can't.
That's the problem
But-
we're running into is we don't know who's doing what. We thought people I thought legitimately people that I know that were normal, that were logical, suddenly turned into literal algae eaters, and I don't know what to think.
Algae eaters, is that like a Florida expression?
No, it's a literal like algae eater, like the fish that like you put in the tank to pick up all the fish poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, the fish poop eater. But we call it algae because
okay.
it sounds nicer.
If you had said fish poop eater off the bat, I would have gotten it.
I know you would.
Then again, dunk, brain's not working. Ching. So, good grief, man.
Yeah,
But-
this is a real thing. So you don't have to get it notarized, but more importantly,
Okay.
wait, hang on. I'm being told that algae eaters do not eat fish poop. They probably eat algae. But regardless, it solves the point I was trying to make, which is the intellect level of some people. You know what? That actually ties better into my point, Dudley, because for someone, it doesn't even make sense. If you're an algae eater and then you eat poop, like think about your brain level. Like you don't even know what you're supposed to do, and it's in your name.
So what you're saying is the creature itself is confused and therefore has no idea what they're doing. In that sense, it ends up hurting people. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying the actions of others are killing other people, and that's not okay. And we're coming full circle.
Ah, I see. So this
Yeah.
went from me apologizing to you about not remembering you were from New Jersey to harping on people who eat poop.
You know, for lack of a better analogy, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Well, it's funny you say that because there's like a saying within the Hispanic community, or at least in my family, that every Puerto Rican always seems to revolve around talking about poop somehow, and it's not derogatory, it's true. You know, we somehow managed to go around that. So congratulations, you just happened to go on a roundabout on something I've done all my life.
Now, this is new to me as someone who has spent a lot of time around the Puerto Rican community, but not completely ingrained in it. My brother-in-law, well, I guess you could call him that. He is more like a brother from a different bloodline. He is very much Puerto Rican, and I've spent many a time with him and his mother and his father and his family. I have not encountered this whole feces discussion that happens on a regular basis. Do you want to elaborate on what you're talking about?
So I guess maybe it's my family, but for some reason, the term is, well, Puerto Ricans always end up talking about poop. Maybe it's my family, but for some reason, in every discussion we have as a family, we somehow circle it back to feces or poop or whatever. Unintentionally, mind you. It's just ingrained in our consciousness.
Can I ask?
And it's not
why?
a bad thing either.
Like, is that just a you thing? Like, is that just like your family thing, and they tell you like, oh, all Puerto Ricans do this, or like, is it a thing?
Well, we experienced it with some of the extended family, and then some of their friends as well. So maybe it's kind of like limited to that. But it's something I've had happen to me all my life, and I just that's just what I've dealt with, and it's honestly hilarious because it just always somehow ends up happening, and then once it comes up, it's like, oh, there it is, whoop, there it is, like, right in the flesh. Poop discussion.
Optics. That
all
was
to hear.
Weird phrasing. Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
You've lived in New Jersey all your life, is that right?
That is incorrect, actually.
No.
Well, most of my life, not all of my life, most of my life. I actually was, even though I live in New Jersey, I'm actually I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
And when did you find yourself moving to where you are now?
Maybe 3 or 4 years old.
So
I hopped around. I've hopped around different towns in New Jersey, or at least 2 different towns. So.
Okay. Well, where you are right now, and we don't have to name a city, but like where you are right now is just outside of Staten Island. How long have you lived there?
I have lived just outside of Staten Island, right off the bridge, for about 16 years.
16 years. Do you think that where you live is actually what is causing this poop stuff to talk about, because it's like spreading out from Staten Island?
No. Well, we have very kind thoughts about Staten Island. That's a lie, of course. But no, it actually stems from my days in Jersey City, actually.
Jersey, of course it does.
I kind of had a feeling you were going to say that, but I'll go along with it. Sure.
No, that's good. Yeah. Okay. So like this doesn't extend. We can't blame Staten Island for this dump conversation, is what you're telling me.
No, but we can blame them for everything else, though.
I'm okay with that. That is fine by me.
Yeah. So am I.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Usually, like, it's nothing against anyone from Staten Island, but they use our beaches too much, and then they don't clean up. So
I
it's
agree. I've
weird.
watched enough Jersey Shore to know this. Yes.
Ah, I see. Oh, so but see, that's the thing, though. That's not the stereotypical image of people in New Jersey. It's like that's like a small subsection down by the shore that just so happened to catch an MTV producer's eye. It's like, that's everyone from Jersey. No, it's not. Yeah, our state smells bad, but we don't all have bad tans. Yeah.
You're not completely wrong. I'll say this. I will say that as a youngin, many moon ago, when I first watched Jersey Shore, I was a nay.
Back in the Stone Age.
Yeah, back in the Stone Age, back when 5G was not giving people coronavirus. I was, watching it maybe a nay 19, 20 years old, 21 years old, however long ago it was. It had to have been 21. That was when the first season of Jersey Shore came out. And I would not watch it. I would refuse to watch it because I was like, no, this is not a good representation of where I'm from. I spent 13 years in New Jersey. You can't take the Jersey out of the kid. And
no, you can't.
I would not watch it. And we had our first son, and there's not much to do in between, in that weird part where the kid is half asleep but not, and you got to make sure they're fed or changed and like whatever else is going on. So we'd put on Jersey Shore, and you know what? I really, really enjoy the hell out of that show, I will say.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
That's not something I'd expect from you. But hey, to each their own, I guess.
I love that trash show so much, Dudley, that we're currently catching up on season 3 of Jersey Shore Family Vacation, and it's fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Now, okay, now let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Do you want, okay, is this similar to like what people do with The Room? Do you watch it because it's so bad it's good, or do you watch it because you legitimately enjoy the interactions with these people and think, wow, that's great TV?
Okay, so really good question here. So I like it for a lot of different reasons, I think. Number one, it is a big ass dumpster fire sometimes, and I love watching train wrecks. I think that's why people watch car crash videos. Like, it's a thing.
Or they watch the New York Mets.
Or they watch the New York Mets, or they watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or they watch the Tampa Bay Rays. Yeah, we can do this a lot.
By
We
the
can
way,
definitely do this a lot.
if anyone doesn't know, if they can still hear me, if anyone knows, I am a Mets fan. I
They
am
can hear
allowed to
you.
make that joke. I am
Yeah.
allowed to make that joke. I am a Mets fan. No one else can make that joke except Met fans. I trademarked it. Continue.
Continuing. So I watch it because it is a train wreck. It's a fascinating train wreck. But I think different seasons elicit different feelings. Like right now, for the past maybe like 7 episodes in season 3 of Family Vacation, I have never thought that Jenny is more of a as Andrew Dice Clay would say, a hooah, as more so now than ever before. She is a shitster at another level that is unfathomable. She is
That's very
two-faced.
Sopranos
She
of you to
doesn't
say it like that.
understand normal human decency, and I don't like her. But I've always enjoyed the fist-pumping bros of Vinny and Paulie. And I will say, ever since his recovery, Mike's pretty much been my favorite. I don't want to say character because it's not really a character, but like my favorite person on the show.
Oh, wow. That's the most in-depth analysis of that show I have ever heard.
We watch
Wow.
it for so many different reasons, but it is like the one show. My wife and I don't get a lot of time together, Dudley. So when we find something to watch, it's usually like we'll watch Suits or we'll watch 90 Day Fiance. Like, we switch it up from time to time, watch some good shows and then some trashy mess shows. But this is the show we're watching right now, and we'll catch like 2 or 3 episodes in a row. And yeah, man, what a great show for a lot of different reasons. But then a lot of it's like a mess. You're like, oh my god, and then it makes you go, okay, what's gonna happen in the next episode? Because I'd really like to see Jenny get punched in the mouth from anybody else at this point.
Whoa! Oh dear! Wow.
Not me do it. Not me do it. Like some other
Well, I never
female
said
do
you,
it. Yeah,
but
not
I
me.
mean-
Not me. But she needs
I know
to,
you wouldn't want to do that.
but as a wrestling fan, she needs to get her comeuppance, right?
Ah, I see.
She's the
Well-
heel. She needs to get her comeuppance, and if she doesn't, I'm going to be very, very irate.
So I just ask you this: if you ever decide to come back to New Jersey, don't say any of what you just said. All of that. Do
I
not
have
say
had this argument with my family up there more times than I can recall easily.
it. Oh dear. Something tells me that just led to some very intense conversations.
Well, you know what? It's really funny because my aunt, my godmother, like the closest person to me, lives just off the bridge at Point Pleasant. So like she's in the epicenter, right? Like that's exactly where it is.
Oh dear.
So when
poor woman, I feel bad
they're
for her.
filming or when Memorial Day starts, they go down there, and as old people now, they're all old people, that my aunt and my uncle, they go down there and just people watch, and they're like, it's quite a good time. But yeah, my people from North Jersey can't stand that I like the show. Now, what's interesting about that is I have a cousin, Dudley, that is identical in way of talk, identical in way of dress as 25-year-old Snooki, 100%.
Oh my god.
And she's like,
No kidding.
we don't talk like that up here. I'm like, yeah, you do,
No,
you really
that's
do.
exactly how you talk.
You just don't realize it.
That's exactly how it is. No, I'll tell you what. It's funny you mention that because I was having a conversation with someone the other day about The Sopranos, right? And he's an Italian guy, so we were having a conversation about what show has the best and accurate depiction of like a New Jersey accent, and clearly it's The Sopranos.
Oh, easily, yeah.
Because if you look at every person that is part of that show, most of them, if not all of them, are from New York. I think Michael Imperioli is from like Yonkers. Drea De Matteo is from Manhattan, I think. Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini was from some Orange in New Jersey.
One of the
so
oranges,
they're all,
yes.
Yeah, one of the Oranges. Which one? I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, man, it was it was something else. So when I watched it for the first time, which by the way, I know people don't like the ending of that show, but it's actually really good, and I will stand by it because
You like
I
the
like
ending.
to get on. I do like the ending. I
Oh.
thought it was a brilliant ending. I people give it crap, but it's actually well done. So
Well,
I don't know why
tell me
David.
yet. I'm actually watching it right now, which is weird. I've never seen Sopranos.
You've never
That's
seen? Okay,
the
so we
weirdest
won't
thing.
we won't ruin it for you. That's like
Okay,
Yeah.
I won't.
we,
No, I
we
won't say
can't.
anything.
Um,
No.
Right.
but I agree with you. I will say this: younger me watching that show, and then me going back and watching episodes now, totally different experience.
Why do you say that?
Just the observations of 10 years removed from being like, what, I'm 32, 33 now, 22, 23 before. Life experience changes, and you realize different things through your life that you relate to as an older adult in the show versus this is like people that I know personally. This is like people in my family that told me that they owned a glass company. This is like people like and I can say this, like I won't give a name, but my next door neighbor until I was 9 years old. These are the family name. Don't ask what they do. This is what my mom would tell me. Don't ask what they do. He owns a glass company in Totowa. I'm like, oh, okay. Got it. Why don't I ask what he does? And she goes, no, you just don't ask. And then he would always bring us
Just don't
gifts
ask.
like every day. Every day we'd have gifts like all the time. But you don't ask why.
Wow.
Like these are people I'm very familiar with.
They bought their way to your heart there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
always.
can appreciate that.
Yeah, you don't ask.
Oh, that's interesting. It's interesting you say that because I've encountered people here where you can just kind of tell.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you've lived here. If you've lived here for so long, or at least for an extended period of time, you just know. Yeah, he's got something going on. He's got something going on.
As
I mean,
what I
I-
say down here, he's got Goomba, and when he has Goomba, you don't
Yeah.
mess with it. Yeah, I get it.